Hello, this is JW, and tonight I want to talk to you about real estate and becoming a real estate investor. Many people during my speaking engagements ask me, how did I get into real estate? Or people on the street that I meet will say, what you up to and you into real estate? Well, I pretty much don't really like that question because it really minimizes what real estate is all about. Real estate, the way most people look at it, as one thing. And what I want to let you know, it's not one thing. Real estate, many times I explain, is like an octopus. It has many paths, many ways to earn, and many things to really be passionate about. There are niches. I like to compare it to being a doctor. All of us go to a doctor, I'm sure, for some reason or another. And if we have a foot problem, we go to a podiatrist. If we have a heart problem, we go to a heart doctor. If we were unfortunate enough to have a brain tumor, we would go to a brain specialist, a brain surgeon for that. Which means whatever the need is, we go to that type of specialist. Or if you want to practice to be a doctor, you have to practice that niche. Well, practicing real estate, you have to practice the niche that you want to learn. And what you have to do is master it. Master the niche that you're interested in. I want to share with you today, I got an email, as I often do, because I'm active in the real estate investment market. And the email says New York City townhouse available. And it gives me some information. It says that the ARV is $2,750,000. ARV is after repair value or after rehab value. That means when the house is all fixed up. And the asking price is $1,750,000. And the estimated repair is $250,000. The potential profit, they say, is $750,000. The ROI is 42%, and ROI means return on investment. So that sounds like a decent deal. I'm going to have to do my due diligence to know the area better. I happen to know it pretty well. I function in that area, but if you were a person that was receiving this, you would do your due diligence to make sure that the ARV is what they say it is, or more or less. And you want to go see the property and go there with a contractor, someone who can assess what the repair value is. That's your due diligence. And you look and see the comps in the neighborhood and what have you. Well, they give me a lot of that information, of which I'll have to do my own due diligence to verify. But they say that this property, I can make $750,000. Now, let me show you the property. Okay? This is a typical brownstone in New York, in Harlem, New York. And the numbers are quite exorbitant there. A $1,750,000 property is about the average. They go up to $3, $4, $5 million. So I'm looking at this property. Now, if you got this email, the question is, what would you do? I want to see you buy this property. I want to see you profit from this property. So there's a few ways you can profit. And a few things that you have to have. When you're functioning in real estate, you either have to function through credit and financing. You can be a cash buyer, or you can be a wholesaler. Some people buy property just to hold it. Some people buy it to rehab it and fix it. But every time I mention the word buy, you have to have the money to buy. So let's say you're a beginner and you don't have those type of resources. Don't let $2,750,000 scare you at all. I'm telling you right now, you can profit by going into contract to buy this property. I know you think I'm crazy. You're saying, how can I buy that property when I don't have it? I don't have that kind of money. Well, if you can't get it through financing and you don't have sufficient credit to be able to do it and a down payment to buy it, then that's out. If in fact you are not a cash buyer and you don't have the cash in the bank, that's out. So let me tell you how you would be able to buy a property like this and have virtually little to no money. And that's called wholesaling. So basically, I would have loved to acquire this property, but I happen to be involved in a project called Detroit Rises in Detroit, Michigan, where we're buying up a whole lot of properties for some very discounted prices. And I'm not going to be in New York. My team is traveling and relocating to Detroit. So how would we buy this property and then have a project here in New York and function with a big project in Detroit? That's not something I want to do, and it doesn't seem very feasible. But I can still take advantage of this opportunity. Why? Because I function as a wholesaler. Whether I can buy it myself or not doesn't matter. In this deal, I'm going to be a wholesaler. And what does that mean? I have an extensive buyers list. I have on speed dial many of my cash buyers who are interested in properties. So I know the ones that want to buy in Harlem who are looking for brownstones. It's an 8-unit. It's only $1,750,000. So what I do is I went into contract on this property. I negotiated the price from $1,750,000 to $1,650,000. So I took off $100,000. I negotiated with 2 or 3 of my cash buyers, and I had them go into a mini bidding war. They didn't know each other was bidding against the other, but one guy says, hey, I bought it for 1.7, another guy says 1.8, and I said, no, I gotta have it for 1.9. At the end of the day, I was able to get one of my cash buyers to say he would buy that building from me for $1,900,000. Now, how is he going to buy this property from me and I don't even own it? Well, see, when I went into contract, I made sure that there was a assignment clause in that contract. So what I did was I then went into contract with my cash buyer for 1.9. I assigned to him my $1,650,000 more contract. I assigned that to him. So he was buying something that I was in the contract for $1,650,000 for $1,900,000. So what does that mean? He was buying the property or the contract from me for a profit to me for $250,000. So when we closed, he came up with $1.9 million in cash. The original seller got $1,650,000. I got $250,000. And I've just wholesaled the deal, and I didn't have to put out very much money. Now, in this case, I did put money out because I put a down payment on the contract. Very few people are going to sign a contract giving you the rights to buy a property without you having some skin in the game. Now, in my case, I was able to do it for $1,000 because I'm well known in the industry and they knew that I would be capable of facilitating this deal. But let's say they don't know you and they want to make sure you're putting up a substantial amount of money or a good amount of money that you're afraid of losing, and they want you to put that down, and you don't have any money. Then you go find your uncle, you go find someone to partner with. So let's say you partner with someone and you put $10,000 down on contract. You already know you can sell it for $1,900,000. You already know you're going to make $250,000. Now don't let those numbers scare you. Why? Because that could be a $200,000 house that you were buying for $100,000 and you were making $30,000 or $20,000 or $10,000 or $5,000. Whatever the margin is, whatever the spread is, you're now in the game and you're making money with little to no money out of pocket. And the next deal that you do, whatever you've profited from this deal, you now have the ability to have money in your pocket to do even more. until you get to the point that you are a cash buyer. So if I made $250,000 on this deal, that means I can go buy a $250,000 house in cash. And if I didn't have any money when I did that deal, I now have $250,000. So you want to master the wholesale game in order to be able to start somewhere. Start where you are. And then you will have enough money to maybe even buy a property yourself, rehab the property, and flip it. But many times you have to look, which is the most cost-effective way. I just made a large sum of money with very little effort. So do I want to buy that property, repair it, pay contractors, get a foreman, one of my guys to oversee this situation to make more money? It's worth it. If I was there in that market, when I was functioning in the New York market, I would have done it that way. But because I'm in the Detroit market and my team and I are not going to be there, 250 is better than nothing. There's a saying that I have and you want to learn it. 50% of something is better than 100% of nothing. And what I want you to also get to know and get to put into your being is that you can be very ambitious. And I want you to be ambitious. I want you to listen to my videos and let me teach you how to become wealthy through real estate. But ambition is not enough. You must marry ambition with action. So listening to my videos is not enough. Taking action is. So I'm going to cut off here and look for you to look at some of my other videos that will tell you about wholesaling, rehabbing, and other real estate passions that you can pursue. So for now, I'm going to sign off and I'll say, see you later. Bye-bye.